Starting off strong with number 1, Throne and Liberty is a massively ambitious mobile MMORPG that brings console-level quality to your fingertips. Developed by NCSoft, this game features a fully open-world environment where players can explore vast landscapes, engage in large-scale PvP battles, and complete story-driven quests. The character transformation system is one of its standout features, allowing players to shift into animals for travel and combat purposes. The graphics are genuinely impressive for a mobile title, and the world design feels alive with dynamic weather and day-night cycles. Guild wars and siege battles add a strong social competitive layer that keeps endgame content engaging for long-term players. Coming in at number 2, Tarisland is NetEase and Tencent-backed MMORPG that delivers a polished fantasy experience with cross-platform support between mobile and PC. The game offers multiple classes with deep skill customization, and the open-world zones are packed with exploration incentives, including hidden dungeons and rare resource nodes. What makes Tarisland stand out is its commitment to a fair progression system with minimal pay-to-win mechanics, something the community genuinely appreciates. The raid content is challenging and well-designed, encouraging team coordination and strategy. The visual style blends classic fantasy with modern rendering techniques, resulting in a world that is both familiar and visually satisfying to explore. Number 3 on this list is Odin Valhalla Rising, a Norse mythology-inspired MMORPG developed by Kakao Games that features one of the most breathtaking open worlds available on mobile. The game uses Unreal Engine 4 to deliver high-fidelity environments, including dense forests, frozen tundras, and mythic realms pulled straight from Norse lore. Combat is action-oriented and fluid, with a variety of classes, each offering distinct playstyles. The mount and flying system gives players freedom to traverse the massive map without feeling restricted. Odin also features a robust crafting and housing system that adds depth beyond standard combat progression. Regular updates and seasonal events keep the content pipeline fresh for returning players. Moving to number 4, Tower of Fantasy from Hada Studio is a science fantasy open-world MMORPG that mixes gacha mechanics with genuine exploration depth. Set on the alien planet Ida, players collect weapons called simulacra that grant unique abilities and playstyles. The open world is enormous and filled with puzzles, exploration challenges, and verticality that rewards curious players. The game received significant updates since launch that addressed early criticism and expanded the world considerably. Co-op gameplay is seamlessly integrated, allowing players to team up for dungeons, world bosses, and story content. The visual design is colorful and distinct, standing out from the typical fantasy aesthetic that dominates the MMORPG genre. At number 5 is Ni no Kuni Crossworlds, a visually stunning MMORPG published by Netmarble that brings the beloved Studio Ghibli-inspired art direction of the Ni no Kuni franchise to mobile. The world is lush, painterly, and genuinely beautiful to explore, with sprawling fields, enchanted forests, and magical kingdoms to discover. Combat blends real-time action with strategic familiar summoning, allowing players to fight alongside their collected creature companions. The kingdom system lets guilds build and develop their own settlements, adding a sandbox layer to the gameplay loop. Story content is well-written and respectful of the franchise tone. Despite the gacha system, the base experience is generous enough that casual players can enjoy the content without heavy investment. Sliding into the number 10 spot is Aether Gazer, a stylish action MMORPG developed by Yostar that blends cyberpunk and mythology into a visually striking package. The combat system is fast, responsive, and deeply satisfying, emphasizing combos, dodges, and character synergies in real-time battles. The open world zones are detailed and varied, mixing urban environments with surreal digital landscapes that reflect the game's unique aesthetic. Character stories are well developed, giving players genuine reasons to invest in the cast beyond pure gameplay value. The boss encounter design is a highlight, with epic multi-phase fights that demand preparation and skill. Aether Gazer stands out as a premium action experience that does not rely on passive mechanics to retain players. At number 11 is Dislyte, a modern urban fantasy MMORPG with a rhythm-influenced combat system and a roster of characters inspired by global mythology, reimagined in a contemporary setting. The world is neon-lit and metropolitan, drawing heavily from street culture, music, and fashion. Combat involves strategic team composition and ability timing that rewards players who invest in understanding character synergies. The story explores the emergence of mythological figures in a near-future city, threatened by supernatural forces. Regular Esper editions and event content keep the roster fresh and the meta evolving. Lilith Games has supported Dislyte consistently, making it one of the more reliably updated titles in the mobile MMORPG space today. Coming in at number 12 is Undawn, a post-apocalyptic open-world survival MMORPG developed by Lightspeed Studios and published by Garena. The game sets itself apart by blending traditional MMORPG progression with survival mechanics, including base building, resource gathering, and crafting. The open world is vast and detailed, with abandoned cities, overgrown wilderness, and dangerous zones that encourage cautious exploration. Combat involves both melee and ranged options against infected enemies and rival players in contested zones. The cooperative systems are well developed, with squads able to build shared bases and tackle large-scale events together. The production quality is high, featuring strong voice acting and cinematic storytelling that elevates it above typical survival mobile titles. Number 13 features Dawn of Isles, a colorful and creative open-world MMORPG that emphasizes exploration and island discovery in a handcrafted world filled with ecological diversity. Players can build and customize their own island, developing it into a personal hub with farms, workshops, and decorative elements. The game world is populated with unique creatures that can be tamed, raised, and used in combat as companions. The art style is vibrant and charming, appealing to players who prefer a lighter visual tone without sacrificing world depth. Community events and seasonal content bring players together regularly. NetEase designed Dawn of Isles as a more relaxed MMORPG experience, making it an excellent option for those who want exploration and creativity over intense combat competition. Hitting the number 14 slot is Caravan Stories, an RPG developed by Aiming Inc. that blends MMORPG elements with real-time strategy mechanics in a richly detailed fantasy setting. Players recruit a diverse cast of races and classes to form caravans that travel through an open world filled with dungeons, camps, and contested routes. The tactical combat system requires positioning and team synergy, making battles more strategic than typical action MMORPGs. The visual style is detailed and grounded, with environments that reflect genuine craft in their design. Cross-platform support allows players on mobile and PC to share the same servers. The depth of the roster and the variety of content types make Caravan Stories a compelling long-form experience for dedicated players. At number 15 is Axe Alliance vs. Empire, a large-scale mobile MMORPG developed by Nexon that centers entirely on faction warfare between two opposing forces in a high fantasy world. The game is built around massive PvP battles involving hundreds of players simultaneously, with strategic territory control determining faction dominance. Individual progression is designed to feed into the larger war effort, giving solo play meaningful context within the faction ecosystem. The open world is traversable freely, with PvP zones creating natural tension as players move through contested regions. 6 classes offer distinct combat roles that contribute differently to large-scale engagements. Nexon has maintained a steady update schedule, keeping the faction war dynamic and competitive for players who prioritize multiplayer conflict as their primary MMORPG motivation. Number 16 brings us to Eternal Evolution, a sci-fi MMORPG that merges idle mechanics with strategic team building in a futuristic open-world setting. The game features a diverse cast of heroes across multiple factions, each with unique abilities and narrative backgrounds. The open-world content includes exploration missions, world bosses, and guild events that require cooperative play and strategic coordination. The progression system is deep without being immediately overwhelming, making it accessible for new players while offering complexity for veterans. The art direction is polished and consistent, creating a visually coherent sci-fi universe that feels inhabited. Regular faction updates and hero additions ensure the meta evolves continuously, rewarding players who stay engaged with the shifting strategic landscape. Coming in at 17 is Path to Nowhere, a unique MMORPG hybrid from AIS No Games that combines tower defense mechanics with narrative-heavy content in a dark urban fantasy setting. The world is grim and atmospheric, populated by characters called Sinners who exist on the margins of a dystopian society. Combat involves placing characters strategically across grid-based zones to control enemy advancement, requiring more tactical thinking than traditional action MMORPGs. The storytelling is exceptionally strong, with detailed character arcs and world building that rewards players who engage with the lore. The art style is striking and distinctive, blending anime aesthetics with noir influences. Path to Nowhere has cultivated a dedicated community that values its narrative depth and the quality of its character writing above standard mobile RPG storytelling. Slot 18 goes to Souls, an action MMORPG that draws clear inspiration from the Soulsborne genre while adapting its mechanics for the mobile format. The game features challenging combat that punishes careless play, requiring players to learn enemy patterns and manage stamina strategically. The open world is dark and interconnected, filled with hidden passages, optional bosses, and environmental storytelling that rewards thorough exploration. Character builds are flexible, allowing for diverse approaches to combat, including strength-focused, dexterity-based, and magic-oriented playstyles. The multiplayer integration allows cooperative play for difficult encounters without making the experience feel dependent on it. For mobile players seeking a more demanding and atmospheric MMORPG experience, Souls delivers a genuinely compelling alternative to the genre's more casual offerings. At number 19 is Laplace M, a mobile MMORPG that blends anime-inspired visuals with deep social systems and a richly developed fantasy world. The game features a strong guild system with dedicated guild halls, cooperative dungeons, and weekly events designed around team coordination. The class variety is significant, with each offering a distinct combat style and aesthetic that contributes differently to party compositions. The open world is filled with life through a dynamic NPC ecosystem and event-driven content that changes with real-world timing. Crafting and the in-game economy are well developed, giving players multiple paths to progression outside of direct combat advancement. Laplace M has maintained a consistent player base through responsive developer support and a genuinely community-oriented design philosophy throughout its lifecycle. Number 20 features Crusaders Quest, a pixel art action MMORPG that has been continuously updated since its original launch into a deep and content-rich experience. The game features a unique block-based combat system where timing and combination of abilities creates satisfying strategic depth within fast-paced real-time battles. The roster of heroes is enormous, drawn from original fantasy lore as well as collaborative crossover events with other popular franchises. The world has expanded significantly through years of updates, adding new dimensions, storylines, and endgame challenges. Despite its pixelated presentation, the game offers genuinely sophisticated mechanics that reward mastery. The active development team has maintained the game's relevance through regular seasonal content and a transparent communication approach with the community. Reaching number 21 is Dark Eden M, a gothic vampire-themed MMORPG that plays players within a faction conflict between humans and vampires in a dark, atmospheric open world. The asymmetric faction system means each side plays differently, with vampires gaining power at night and humans relying on religious abilities and technology. The world is dense and foreboding, drawing from classic vampire mythology while building its own distinct lore. PvP is central to the experience, with faction dominance driving server-wide events and territorial control. Character progression is deeply tied to faction reputation, creating a social investment in the outcome of ongoing conflicts. Dark Eden M delivers a genuinely differentiated MMORPG experience for players who prefer darker themes and faction-driven multiplayer engagement over cooperative PvE content. At number 22 is Elune, a mobile MMORPG from Superplanet that combines turn-based strategic combat with an expansive narrative and a vast collection of heroes called Elunes. The game's story is substantial, with fully voiced cutscenes and a world-building scope that approaches console RPG ambitions. Hero collection is core to the experience, with each Elune offering unique abilities that contribute to diverse team compositions across various content types. The open-world exploration rewards curiosity, with hidden lore items and optional challenges that deepen the narrative. Guild content and co-op raids provide social motivation for ongoing play beyond the main storyline. Superplanet updates Elune consistently, adding new chapters, heroes, and seasonal events that keep the experience current and rewarding for players who remain invested in its expanding universe. Number 23 is Aurcus Online, a fast-paced action MMORPG for mobile that focuses on skill-based combat and community-driven world events in a fantasy setting. The game features an action combat system that requires active dodging, skill timing, and positional awareness during encounters, separating it from auto-combat-heavy alternatives. The world features dynamic public events that gather players organically around shared objectives, creating spontaneous social moments without requiring guild membership. Character progression is accessible and transparent, with clear paths to gear improvement and ability enhancement. The guild system supports both casual social groups and hardcore competitive teams, with appropriate content for each. Aurcus Online has maintained its community through straightforward progression design and a combat system that remains engaging across extended play sessions. Arriving at number 24 is Eternal City, a dark urban fantasy MMORPG set in a world where ancient supernatural forces have broken into contemporary civilization. The setting blends modern architecture with mythological intrusions, creating a visually unique environment that stands apart from traditional medieval fantasy worlds. Players choose from investigator archetypes that each approach the supernatural threat differently, offering varied combat and exploration styles. The narrative is atmospheric and mystery-driven, rewarding players who engage deeply with quest dialogues and environmental storytelling. The open world is dense with content, including faction missions, spontaneous world events, and hidden investigations. The production quality is notably high, with strong audio design and visual effects that contribute meaningfully to the overall atmosphere of the game. Finally, at number 25 is Era of Legends, a high fantasy mobile MMORPG developed by Wallcraft that features fully three-dimensional dragon mounts and a large open world designed around airborne exploration and ground-level adventure equally. The mount system is among the most developed in the mobile genre, with dragons and other creatures that can be trained, upgraded, and customized over time. The open world is expansive and visually ambitious, featuring diverse biomes connected by air routes and ground paths that offer different travel experiences. Class variety is substantial, with each offering distinct combat mechanics and visual flair. Guild wars and large-scale PvP events provide competitive endgame motivation for organized players. Era of Legends combines familiar MMORPG foundations with genuinely inventive ideas around aerial traversal and creature bonding that make it a memorable entry in the mobile genre.